What's going on, guys? It's Rahul here, back again with another video, and today, you guys saw the title of today's video. I'm just gonna be recapping the first 2 days of NBA free agency this year for 2020. So of course, with all that being said, that's what we're gonna do in today's video. And a disclaimer really quickly, this video is mostly unscripted. I just have the transactions I'm gonna talk about, and that's basically it. So sorry if I do stumble, but aside from that, you guys know what to do. Please make sure to like the video if you guys did enjoy, as it really helps out the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and you're a fan of the NFL or the NBA, as I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, and it would be greatly appreciated if we could reach that goal. I will react to my very first 2 videos once we reach 1,000 subscribers, and I think I might do another Q&A. So if you guys are interested, want to see me do that, please make sure to subscribe. Also, speaking of the Q&A, for the 100 subscriber one, I haven't been getting a ton of comments for questions, so I've actually considered like maybe not doing it. But okay, if you guys really want to see it, please make sure to use the comment section for this video to ask your questions or just comment your thoughts. So please, if you guys really want to see the Q&A, please make sure you guys comment. It really would mean a lot if you guys could do that. But with all that being said, let's just get into the transactions. We got a lot to talk about. So first one I want to talk about, Gordon Hayward to the Charlotte Hornets. Also, spoiler, I will not be talking about these like in order. Like, I won't be talking about the day 1 moves first and then the day 2 moves. I'm just going to be talking about all the transactions. So this is a move on the second day, and I mean, personally, there's a lot of rumors of him going to Indiana, but it turns out the Celtics were asking for a lot. And personally, good move by Indiana by not giving up all that. Like, they wanted Miles Turner along with TJ Warren or Victor Oladipo. And that Gordon Hayward is just not worth all of that. Let me just tell you that he is not worth all of that. He went to Charlotte. Now, a sign and trade is still possible, but if you ask me, Gordon Hayward to, I think Charlotte might have actually made like an okay move. Now, they paid this guy a lot of money. 4 years, $120 million. He's getting paid $30 million a year, so he still has a bad contract, but who knows? Maybe he's the same all-star Gordon Hayward we once saw in Utah, once on Charlotte. Because I want to say this, Charlotte might actually be a sleeper to make the playoffs in the East. You know, the Eastern Conference, not as strong as the West. Not only that, but if Devontae Graham and PJ Washington keep on developing, I'm assuming Miles Bridges is the 6th man, so if he's a good 6th man, that's nice. Of course, if LaMelo Ball has a good rookie year, and Gordon Hayward is a really good player for them, and what's that guy's, I think didn't the Hornets get like a center? Oh no, I don't know if they got a center in free agency. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Well, anyways, there's like this Vernon Carey Jr. guy. I mean, if they can get him, that's not too bad either. So, well, I mean, they already got him, but if he can play well, that would be very good for them. But aside from that, that's my general thoughts. Next one, Gallinari to the Hawks. Now, I'm a Denver Nuggets fan, and I watched Danilo Gallinari quite a bit when he was on the Nuggets, you know, and I really like this guy. I think the guy is great, and he would have helped a lot of contending teams. Now, the Hawks right now are not a contending team, but if you ask me, I really like this pickup for the Hawks. A very good player. The guy is a very good scorer. He can shoot the ball really well, and he can somewhat create off the dribble, which is something you really like to see. He can play both forward spots, so I would assume that if he is starting, he's going to be the small forward. So if you ask me, this is a really good move. You know, you get another scorer next to Trae Young and John Collins. That's just a really good move, because Atlanta should make the playoffs as soon as possible, and they really can. You know, if you ask me, Atlanta and Charlotte could actually definitely make the playoffs. I'd bet more on Atlanta, mainly because of Trae Young, plus Danilo Gallinari, and they also got John Collins, plus Clint Capella, and some other signings we'll talk about later. But I really like this move for them. Good job by Atlanta. Next up, the depressing signing for me, since I'm a Denver Nuggets fan, and Jeremy Grant left us. Got paid, what was it, like 3 years, $60 million? Yeah, getting paid $20 million a year, man. Okay, this is not my depression session, so yeah, this is not being, a Nuggets fan being sad about Jeremy Grant leaving. Well, this part will be, but anyways, if you ask me for Detroit, I mean, it actually kind of seems like they want to make the playoffs because of some other signings. You know, Christian Wood left, but I mean, they realized, chances are he's probably going to leave, so we need to just get why not just get as much talent as possible? Now Jeremy Grant, I think he's like 26, so I don't think he'll get like a ton better, but he's a very good role player, and I feel like he's better for contending teams, mainly because, you know, he can really just help a contending team. He's not like a super young player with superstar potential, and you know, he really has kind of hit his ceiling as like a really good role player. And I mean, no hate to Jeremy Grant, since I mean, okay, I'm sad that he left, but I mean, chances are that he wouldn't get a $20 million contract ever again, so I can't totally blame him. But who knows, maybe Detroit's trying to push, because I mean, if Blake Griffin is healthy and he plays like how he did in the 2018-19 season, that should be a positive. If Derrick Rose is starting and he plays really well, another positive. Shooting guard, this Svi Mikhailuk guy, yeah, I think I said his name right. Oh, I said it mostly right, I guess. If he's okay, I guess that's fine. Oh yeah, that Killian Hayes guy, I mean, I'd guess maybe Rose is the sixth man, or this Killian Hayes guy that got in the draft is maybe their sixth man. I mean, if the entire team can play solid, then maybe they make the playoffs. I seriously doubt it though. But I guess the Pistons decide to do it, whatever. But I guess it's fine then. But next up, Montrezl Harrell to the Lakers. I mean, everyone was hating on him for doing it, for signing with the Lakers. I mean, people were calling him a snake. If you ask me, for the Lakers, I mean, this is a good move. Why not get Montrezl Harrell if you can? Now, defensively, the guy is just not good. Now, he is 6'8". Of course it's tall. Of course it's tall in real life, but he's undersized for a center. And I mean, the guy plays bigger than he really is. You guys kind of know if you guys know what I mean. Basically, you know, the guy is an undersized center, except he plays like kind of like a traditional center. He's very good at finishing at the rim, and he's also a good not rim protector, rebounder. Yeah. If you ask me, they got two good Sixth Man of the Year candidates. Now, I would imagine Schroeder starts and Harrell comes off the bench, because I don't know if they'll play Anthony Davis at center. But even if they do, I'm not sure Harrell and Davis can really work together, since Montrezl Harrell can play power forward. He's fast enough to do it, but I mean, the guy mainly gets his points in the paint. Now, if the guy can at least develop a mid-range jump shot, that'd be really nice. But yeah, I mean, Montrezl Harrell to the Lakers, good pickup by the Lakers. I mean, if you ask me, right now they're just a favorite to repeat, given these. But speaking of a former Laker, Dwight Howard went to the 76ers now. There's like this really funny post where he said something like along the lines of, what was it? Something like, man, I'm trying to, yeah, something along the lines of purple and gold nation forever, baby. I'm a Laker for life. But then he deleted it and he signed with Philadelphia. Now, for the 76ers, I'm gonna be real here. They've been having, I really like what the front office has been doing. I don't know who's doing it. Maybe it's Daryl Morey or Elton Brand or whoever's making these moves. Credit to you, because I mean, the 76ers, I think, could have a legit bounce back season. Now, of course, Dwight Howard is not some like stretch the floor modern day big. The guy is absolutely not that, but he is a very solid player, and I think he'd be a really good backup to Joel Embiid. Plus, they also got some good floor spacers, and like guys like Seth Curry, who got traded to them on draft night. They got another guy, I'm trying to remember, what's his name? Yeah, the Al Horford trade. They got Terrence Ferguson. I can't remember the exact Al Horford trade. I remember they got Terrence Ferguson, but yeah, I can't exactly remember that. But please, I can't exactly remember the Al Horford trade right now, so please. Oh yeah, they got Danny Green in that Al Horford trade. Yeah, never mind. You don't need to drop that in the comment section. Instead, drop your questions for the Q&A in the comment section, or your thoughts. But I think I really like this a lot for the 76ers. Next up, Dragic to the Heat. I'm not going to spend a ton of time. I really like this move for Miami. I mean, personally, I think they should have done this, because I mean, I get that they're betting to try and get Giannis in 2021, but in the case he doesn't resign, I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket, because they gotta have a backup plan, and I think they should sign Dragic to like I thought they should have signed him to a 1 or 2 year deal, and that's what they did. Good move by the Heat. Christian Wood to the Rockets. I really like this move for Houston. You know, after their small ball experiment worked, one thing I did think of was getting a big who can like kind of defend, who's not a liability on defense, but he can also stretch the floor and he can also rebound, and Wood was exactly that. Now, I did think that maybe they could get him, but I was really doubtful about whether he would really leave Detroit, but he's now left Detroit. And if you ask me, if I'm Houston, maybe you might give this Westbrook Harden thing another shot. And I mean, I think I should have a video coming out about that soon enough, so I guess you can keep your eyes out for that. Yeah, if you ask me, I might actually run it back with Harden and Westbrook. Now that you got Christian Wood who can defend, and he's also a really good stretch big. Next up, Joe Harris to the Nets. I really like this pickup. I mean, I guess they did kind of. How much was he paid for? Like $19 million a year? That is a little much, but I mean, you need some depth. And I mean, Joe Harris is not an amazing defender. He's fine, but I mean, he's a very good shooter. But if you ask me, not that bad for Brooklyn. Next up, Rajon Rondo and Chris Dunn went to the Atlanta Hawks. Okay, credit to the Atlanta front office. Let me tell you that. That is an absolutely just a really good move by the Atlanta Hawks. You know, Trae Young is one of the worst defensive players in the league, so they are crowding that backcourt with really good defensive players. Chris Dunn is not any offensive, like, scoring machine, but this man is really good defensively. Rajon Rondo, not the same player he once was, but he's still not that bad of a defensive player. So I really like what Atlanta's doing, and I think they could legit make the playoffs. Next up, Paul Millsap and JaMychal Green went to the Denver Nuggets. Paul Millsap signed for a 1-year deal. I really like this. I mean, I really like this mainly because I feel like we should keep Paul Millsap. As a Nuggets fan, I feel like it was a good move to like kind of keep Paul Millsap now that Jeremy Grant left. And for JaMychal Green, I like this too. You know, now JaMychal Green is not as good as Jeremy Grant, and he definitely isn't as good as Jeremy Grant on offense. Although he's not that bad of an offensive player. You know, what's his name? Yeah, JaMychal Green. He can do everything. He can do what Jeremy Grant basically does, which is stretch the floor very well and play really good defense. And JaMychal Green does that, and I really like what they did. As a Nuggets fan, and if you ask me, JaMychal Green, he can't create off the dribble as much as Jeremy Grant can, but I really still like JaMychal Green, as he's still a really good defensive player and he's a really good 3-point shooter. Aside from that, next move I want to talk about is what's his name? Yeah, Jay Crowder to the Suns. Now the Heat really lost a big piece in Jay Crowder, and if you ask me, speaking of the Myers Leonard signing, I feel like they should have kept Jay Crowder over Myers Leonard. Now, maybe Jay Crowder was asking for quite a bit, and for an amount of money that wouldn't allow them to sign to a max free agent in 2021, and he wanted a long-term deal. So I guess I can see that, but I mean, very good pickup for the Phoenix Suns. You know, after that Chris Paul trade, we all knew that their forwards and their wings were kind of depleted, but if you ask me, very good pickup. Now, I would imagine Jay Crowder probably plays power forward because he's strong enough to play power forward, and he's played power forward quite a bit, so I mean, I can see why they would play him at power forward, you know. Plus, I really just like this pickup. You know, the guy is still really good defensively, and he's also a really good 3-point shooter, so I really like this pickup by the Phoenix Suns. Next up, we got Tristan Thompson to the Boston Celtics. Personally, I think this is not that bad of a move for the Boston Celtics. Jeff Teague also went there, and if you ask me, not bad moves at all. Now, Tristan Thompson is not some star big man. He's not Nikola Jokic. He's not Joel Embiid. He is not Anthony Davis. He is not Karl Anthony Towns. He's not Rudy Gobert. He's not Andre Drummond. He is not Bam Adebayo. You got the point. Or Kristaps Porzingis. Yeah, enough with that. You know, you got the point. He's not a star center, but he is still a very solid center, you know. The guy's defense is fine. He's not terrible on defense, so he's going to be an upgrade from Daniel Tice on defense. No offense, but he's also a really good rebounder, and he can finish around the rim. Not a bad pickup. And Jeff Teague, he's still a very, very solid point guard, even though he's not the same the same prime Jeff Teague we saw. Next up, Avery Bradley and Mo Harkless went to the Heat. I really like these pickups. I'm not going to spend too much time, but it's a pretty good pickup. They're pretty good pickups by the Miami Heat because, I mean, Avery Bradley, really good 3-and-D guard, and Mo Harkless is also a good defender, and I think he should be able to at least replace Jay Crowder, what Jay Crowder did defensively, not offensively, since Mo Harkless really isn't that good offensively, but he can at least defend pretty well. Next up, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to the Lakers. Okay, sorry if I said kind of weird, but Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to the Lakers. I really like this by the Lakers, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this one, but if you ask me, I think it's really good, since Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, aside from some other stuff, he was really good for them in the playoffs, and I really like this pickup I really like how they re-signed him. So next up, well, I'm not a Lakers fan, but I mean, good for them. But next up, we got Steven Adams to the Pelicans. If you ask me, not terrible. Now, I think it was inevitable that Steven Adams was going to get traded now after the whole Al Horford trade, but if you ask me, not terrible for the Pelicans. Now, don't get me wrong, they're gonna be more of a team that's developing for the future, but maybe they want to get some playoff experience and want to improve their team. And I feel like Adams is just that. The guy is okay not being a star, but at the same time, the guy does his job very well. Now, the guy can't stretch the floor, so if you ask me, Zion Williamson might have to be able to somewhat stretch the floor sometimes, since the paint might be clogged, or maybe Steven Adams develops a three-point shot. But I feel like you might need one of those guys to develop a three-point shot, but it's not a terrible trade overall. Next up, we got the final move is Serge Ibaka to the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, this just happened, and if you ask me, very good move by the Clippers. If you ask, now losing Montrezl Harrell is kind of big, but Serge Ibaka is kind of more useful. Now, the guy can't really, he's not like some flashy 20-point per game scorer, but the guy can defend, which is something they really need. They need rim protection, since in the Western Conference, you got guys like Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic. Now, those guys are just still going to get their numbers since they're just that good. But still, you need those. You need guys. Serge Ibaka is at least going to be able to somewhat slow them down. Not only that, but the guy can stretch the floor, so that's very nice. And if you ask me, the Clippers, they might bounce back. Now they still need to get a playmaker on that team. But if you ask me, a very good pickup by the Clippers. But aside from that, that's going to be the end of today's video. So please make sure to like the video if you guys did enjoy today's video. So it really helps out the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and you're a fan of the NFL or the NBA, as I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. It would be greatly appreciated if we could reach that goal. I will react to my very first 2 videos when we reach 1,000 subscribers, and I will also do another Q&A. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys subscribe. Also, speaking of that, for the 100 subscriber Q&A, please put your questions in the comment section below if you have any. But aside from that, I'm out, you guys.